there and welcome back. I'm Curtis and you're watching my YouTube channel specifically to celebrate Recovery Daily Devotional Series. Again, this is not my material, this is just straight from the book. I read it and talk about it. Today we're on day 55 and it's called Let It Out. 1 Peter 3:15. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect. One Sunday morning, our Sunday school teacher asked who would like to quote a favorite Bible verse. My hand shut up immediately and I said Hebrews 8:12. For me, just a little bit of sidelines. You can't really see it, but here we go. I'll go ahead and get it. This one's mine, and it's Psalms 23. And it's just on like a little canvas board, but I have it hanging up there so I can look at it every day. This one is mine. God forgives my wickedness and remembers my sins no more. I was new to the class, but I was so excited that God had chosen to forgive and forget my past that I couldn't contain myself. When the teacher called on me, I quickly replied, I just have to say it, I can't hold it in. Sometime later, one of the men who had been in the class that Sunday told me he had made the following remark to the person sitting next to him. Wow, he sounds pretty fired up, but I bet that will be gone in a few years. Then he said, but I can see I was wrong. You're still fired up. And now, more than 25 years later, I'm fired up even more because I know now God has not only rescued me from my destructive path, but he has also been faithful throughout the years to keep me on the right path, one that leads to hope and joy. I can't possibly keep it to myself. No matter how good or bad we are never good enough. God has to rescue every one of us. We should never keep that to ourselves. The prayer: Father, thank you for rescuing me and giving me a new start. I will be grateful for as long as I live and also for eternity in Jesus' name. This one is a big one for me because throughout my journey, I started in active addiction with my faith journey because I had always been a small-time believer. Well, I went through IOP, did that, and then I started reconnecting with old friends. And then old friends invited me to church, and then the rest is just history. We went to one church for about a year and a half, and then maybe 2 years, and then the Lord spoke to us to start our own church, so we did that. And then I became an associate pastor, started divinity school, and now I am a CPRS working in the mental health field, and I am doing all these different projects. If you could see my bed, it's like covered in papers and printouts of stuff that I'm planning and putting together. But the long story short is I was blessed. Literally, I was hooked on the hardest drug, the hardest way, and at times it made me want to consider other options to harm myself, and it did not succeed, thankfully, because the Lord had a better plan for me. He wanted me to grow up and become a pastor and start working in the community and start getting involved and start changing lives. I encounter people on a daily basis that have some sort of struggle going on. And the fact that I can be there for them and help lift them up and just help them understand to hold on, stand still, and it too will pass. And that's one of my favorite worksheets I'm actually going to be talking about in a future project, is how to, they call it urge writing, and you just do this, because when you're especially coming out of addiction, your highest point of wanting to use is going to be up here. But that's going to fade the more you get good skills and you replace with healthy habits. And then it'll go up again. And then you just keep replacing it with healthy habits to eventually you don't have to ride the wave because you're not going to have it. And that can work with smoking, because I did start smoking and then I got on Chantix, but I am on the second batch, which is like day 40, maybe like 45, somewhere in there, of no nicotine. And believe me, I still crave some nicotine. But I either pop a hard candy or get involved in something else or start working on a project or something. I replace that urge with healthy habits. One thing that also helps me is I ride roller coasters to get a thrill. And it's the best feeling in the world whenever you're like 300 feet tall and then you come swooping down through a loop and into an inversion. It's thrilling, and it is very healthy for me because I have replaced that with my drug of choice during active addiction. Small things like that, whenever you're in recovery or the path that you are working on, small things, and we talked about it before about building boundaries and how to correct stuff, but building healthy habits is also in the toolbox that I use very often, especially with communication, because I'm now to the point. I used to get fired up and fight everybody. You can ask my roommate, because I used to be a witch. But I'm finally to the point where in my head, and somebody's screaming at me, I tell myself they're just upset because they have misunderstood something, or I might have misspoke, or something along the lines. Their feelings are valid. Their reactions are valid. So you as the other person, have to sit down, listen to them, and address each of the concerns one by one, and just slowly calm them down, and then get back on topic. I didn't used to be able to do that years ago. But through faith and letting it go and just experiencing life has taught me all these different tools that I hope I'm conveying to you, the audience. But the big thing is just to let go what you cannot control. There's all kinds of resources on YouTube and social media and everything, even on Google, to help you understand what is in your control and what is not. There's a fabulous worksheet that I love to use from time to time when I do group therapy stuff. But I encourage you to do a pro and con list of active addiction and a cost gain analysis in addiction, where you basically put down you gained this, but you lost this. And when you're done with that, really give it a look and then be like, wow, this is a lot. I did that a couple months ago just because I wanted to see how far I've come. And then my columns had actually switched because I am in recovery. I'm so strong now. I've never been this strong before. And my mind has changed on things. And it's just, I'm so much more a better person now than I was. But the key to that was letting go of things I couldn't control, and rejoicing the things that I did control and the things that I did change, because I come from the absolute worst end all the way up to here, and now I'm so much better for it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.